Hey guys, Bryson here, and today we're gonna take a look at Dave Ramsey talking to someone that literally owes $1 million in student loan debt. Now, I never heard about this. Like, what exactly did this guy study? Like, I don't know. I never heard about anything like this, okay? But in this video right here, we're gonna find out exactly what Dave's telling him and how exactly he got into this whole situation, okay? And by the way, the most I've heard about is like 400K, 200K, but $1 million in student loan debt? It's absolutely insane. But let's find out, guys. And if you're new here, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell so you're notified. And on top of that, also destroy the like button for the YouTube algorithm. And without further ado, let's find out exactly what's going on with this $1 million student loan debt.
Justin is with us in Florida. Hi, Justin. How are you?
I'm doing well, Dave. How are you?
Better than I deserve. What's up?
Better than I deserve. I love how Dave Ramsey has like the same thing he says every single day. Okay, better than I deserve. It's a good mantra. It's a good mantra. I like it, Dave. I like it, Dave. By the way, I have a lot of respect for Dave. He's been here for like over 10 years, like just making content. I think like over 20 maybe. But the idea is I have a lot of respect for him. But, you know, I just don't agree with all his points. So, you know, I don't have to agree with everybody's points to kind of like come to an understanding when we do have something in common. Okay, so let's find out here.
So I had a question for you. I just recently graduated from residency to become an orthodontist. And I have student loans that total just over $1 million.
Over $1 million as an orthodontist. I don't even know what those people do, honestly. Like, do you guys know what those people do? Comment down below. I don't know. But $1 million, I know what that does. And that is not that.
You're kidding me.
And no, sir.
What were you thinking?
And, well,
Whoa, yeah, what were you thinking, Justin, in Florida?
I wasn't thinking clearly. So I've sat down and calculated my interest rates, and my interest is about $5,800 a month.
$5,800 a month just in interest, because again, it's not free. You have to pay that interest, whether it's federal or private. It still has some interest attached, usually very low. But when you're talking about $1 million, a $5,800 interest, it's insane.
So my fiance and I were trying to decide what's the best way to try to attack this.
Wow, so he actually has a fiance also, and he's probably thinking about getting married and probably thinking about getting a house, okay? And this is going to be very difficult to swallow. Hopefully his fiance is also like a neurologist or like a whatever he is to actually earn some money to help tackle this. But the answer is $1 million. Come on, man.
If we were this first year able to pay $10,000 a month, I guess there's basically two ways that we thought of it. I can do income-based, and my required payment will be about $3,000, and then we can take the remaining $7,000 and pay it directly at individual loans, or should we?
Okay. So he's trying to tackle it, I guess. He's trying to tackle it.
We cover the interest and then pay additional monies towards other loans.
All right, so the way I would do this would probably be like, you can't default on student loan debt, okay? But I would probably do the avalanche method. Dave is probably going to be like, hey, do the snowball method, which basically means like cover the loans that are smallest and then just like go from there. But when you talk about $1 million, man, it's an insane amount of money. Like, I hope he's earning like at least over $200,000 to $300,000 a year.
So what is your income going to? When are you getting married?
April.
Okay. And what will you be making as an orthodontist?
Orthodontist. Hey Siri, how much does an orthodontist make?
$239,501 per year in the United States.
All right, so he does earn like around 240K. That's the average, so that is a lot of money. So if you do the math, it should take him like 5 years to pay off this whole thing, right? And if his wife has a job, it might take him even shorter. So I don't know why he's talking about 10K per month. Like, why not just like put in all of your salary?
About $250.
Okay. And what does she do, and what will she be making?
We actually just opened up an office, and she works in the office, so she's not taking any income out of the office.
Okay. So she's working, but not taking any income at the office, so not yet.
So if you make $250,000 a year, why are you only putting $120,000 on your?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly what I said, okay? Making like $250,000, why you only putting up $10K per month? It seems like a lot, guys, but comparative to how much he makes, why not knock this thing out like right off the bat? $5,300 per month in interest. It's insane.
Well, I mean, the 250 I calculated pre-tax and everything else. I mean, we're going to put as much as we, possibly can.
Yeah.
On the debt, yes, sir. I mean,
I think the tax rate for someone that makes like 50K is like maybe like 30% or maybe like 40%. He pays a lot of money in taxes also, okay? So it's insane. It's insane.
And in the years to come, as the, income goes up, we're hoping to be able to make payments of 20 or 30 or 40,000 a month. I mean, that's what we're what we're praying for. Otherwise, I'm just.
Can you imagine that, guys? Can you imagine making like payments of $20,000 to $30,000 to $40,000 a month for your education? Can you actually imagine that? $1 million in student loan debt to become an orthodontist. I'm pretty sure that's not the average cost of that career. I'm actually going to look it up right now. By what I found online, guys, it sounds like on average, it might be between 200 to 500K just in student loan debt to actually graduate, okay? But then again, you are going to make a ton of money, but $1 million is just like excessive.
Just up a creek without a paddle.
Yeah.
I think Dave is just like, he's never heard about anything like this. He's been in radio and doing like shows for like 10, 20 years, but this is a whole different situation. It's a whole different beast.
Okay. I think the thing you have to, yes, I would, the income-based option does not do away with interest. And so interest is going to be accruing greater than you're putting in.
Yeah, so the interest is still going to be accruing. I think what Dave is probably going to recommend here is like, you could, if you want, you can do that, so it could be like, just in case you have like a bad month or whatever, but you still have to put up at least like, and just like start knocking off the debt that's actually like the lowest. The snowball method, I don't recommend that. I recommend the avalanche method with the highest interest rate first, but it's a very complex issue with $1 million in student loan debt. Very complex. And then he has to buy a house, has to get a wedding. If he has a kid, oh my God, what a nightmare. That's why, even if you make, for example, 250K, but you're spending 300K every single year, you're still poor. You're still broke. Okay, that's the idea. If you make 40K and only spend 30K, you're rich. You're wealthy.
Okay, so you don't. You're not making any mathematical progress by doing the 3 and 7 idea, but you will make emotional progress because you'll be able to knock off some of the smaller ones.
Right.
And God knows you're going to need some emotional progress in this
the snowball method, as I thought.
Process. Yeah. So, and then the only other commentary I would just add is that this is such an extreme situation. Your income is extreme, and
his income is extreme. 250K, man. Like if he just lived like a hermit, like with his wife, with his fiance, like for like those 5 years or 6 years or 7 years, he could probably pay it off, okay? But he's supposed to like 28 or 30 because again, doctors and orthodontists like graduate like super late also. So 7 years is gonna be difficult. It's gonna be difficult.
Your debt is extreme, that you have to be very, very careful to just act like you're a broke college student because you are a broke orthodontist.
Yeah, exactly. But he's gonna have to be broke for 7 years, 7 to 8 years, if he takes Dave's advice here of just paying off that student loan debt. And I'm going based off what Dave always says. Dave is always saying like, hey, pay off your debts. I believe that you should always invest at the same time. That way you also build that habit. But I also understand what Dave comes from the desired idea. Okay, the faster you're out of debt, the more you can just focus on investing. I understand that also, Dave.
Right.
And so that means you guys aren't going on vacations. You're not buying a house. You're not leasing a new BMW. You're not going to a restaurant. You are.
And that's the hard thing, because you might say that, hey, I'll do that for a year or two. So we're talking about 7 years of that, and he's worked hard, like very hard to probably get this degree. And now he's like, I can't do anything, but life is pretty long. Depends how you live it, right? If he's like 28 or 30, by 37, he'll be good. And then probably like by 45, he could probably retire. Because again, he makes a ton of money.
You have $1 million. I can't even say it out loud. I can't breathe. $1 million in student loan debt. it gives me an anxiety attack, and it's not even my debt.
I mean, if I woke up with $1 million in student loan debt, I don't know what I would do. Okay, it would be insane. I would just move to Japan or somewhere else. You know, it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. And the answer is, you know, there's this saying. You know, when you owe a bank, for example, $1,000, that's your problem. They'll ruin your credit forever. But for example, 7 years. But when you owe the bank $1 million, that's their problem, and then they can't sleep at night. Okay, I also write that in the comments. But the answer is, in this case, it's your problem also, because basically you can't bankrupt this stuff, right? Because student loan debts are not bankrupt.
Really want everything else just going on student loan debt.
Mm-hmm.
Is it 250 gross sales in your new office?
You know, like I said, I just graduated this year, so I work part-time for another orthodontist to have a steady income.
Okay, so he's trying to start like his own company, but he also works part-time to actually have a steady income also.
And the office that my fiance and I work in, we just opened 2 months ago. You know, the income is just steadily increasing on that.
Right, but I guess I'm asking.
I mean, that's pretty cool, you know, like it's also like a long-term perspective in the business. If everything continues to go well and no new innovations start up, then in reality, they'll be in business for a long time, and the income will also increase as they also keep getting more customers and more customers. If anything does change, though, it'll be a nightmare.
The 250,000, how much of that's from the new office and how much is from the orthodontist gig?
About 200 of that is from me working at another orthodontist where I still work.
Wow. Part-time, he's earning $200K, and then by doing his own business, he's actually making around like $50K. This is a lot of money, guys.
3 days a week, and then I work at my office 3 days a week, so I work 6 days a week right now.
Okay, that's good.
We're talking about 3 days a week working, earning $200K from his other orthodontist, guys, okay? And 3 days a week earning $50K. Now, it's hard work, it's hard education, and it also comes with the $1 million student loan debts, but that is a lot of money, let's be honest here, right?
That's good. So we ought to be able to turn that 50 into 250.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, over time, as you build your clientele and so forth. Okay. And
mathematically, is there any benefit, though, to me,
no.
like I was mentioning before, doing, okay.
No, because you have a set interest rate and a set amount of principal. You have to pay.
Yeah, I think what Dave is saying here is that you might think that, for example, it's income-based, but in reality, if you're just paying interest, you're just paying interest. That's the whole thing. So you're not really doing anything whatsoever. You're just kind of like running still on a treadmill. But also, like Dave said here, you know, over the long period of time, maybe like 5-10 years, that income of his, like with his business, can actually like go up to 250K. But most likely, you know, what will happen is basically once you start making a lot of money, he'll probably say, hey, I'm gonna move everything over to my main business. The answer is no. You might want to just keep both and juggle both at the same time. Like have the gig and also have like the job that you're actually building up. 250K, that's 500K. You're done a lot faster.
And so
I'll calculate it.
Yeah. And so let's pretend that you paid the income based at 3,000. So somewhere another 2,800 is landing on the books as increased balance.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is that as your balance keeps increasing, your interest rate also keeps increasing. So you might be paying interest on $1 million, but next year it'll be like on $1,020,000 or 30,000. You know, so it'll keep going up and up and up and up. Before you know it, you owe a lot more if you just do the income base. Okay, it's an insane situation. He has to knock it out.
Right. Principal,
okay.
Yeah.
And then you're reducing other balances by 7. Principal and interest on the smaller ones. And so, like I say, we're just moving the P around under a different shell, but it will give you the benefit of getting to check off some of these smaller ones. What is your smallest one?
Well, I mean, I have a consolidation that's like 800, but most of the small, I have.
Oh, he has a consolidation loan. Oh. Okay.
Maybe half a dozen small ones that are 4,500 or less.
Yeah, and so you're going to knock those out, like 1 a month, 2 a month, that kind of thing.
Right.
And for the first little while, and you know, then we're going to get down to the big mama jama, the 800.
And that is super large, man. That consolidation thing is super large. Usually, what I do is I don't really consolidate. I just like go based on the avalanche method and just start knocking things off like that. But when it comes to like this amount of $1 million, it's a whole different beast, guys. It's a whole different beast.
And then it's going to slow way down in terms of the emotional benefit, and it'll be very simple to do the calculation. But you're going to accrue $5,800 worth of interest somewhere, and you are going to reduce principal by $4,200. somewhere
right.
in total by using $10,000. So it doesn't matter. The only benefit is just to be able to check those little. I like cleaning up the little ones, getting the dust out of the corner, getting rid of the mosquitoes.
All right, guys. So overall, I'll tell you what's going to happen here. He just said everything I said in the video. Basically, he's going to use recommend the snowball method. Okay, you start off like that, you get the emotional perspective on, and then you probably just go on auto pay and everything else for the rest of the time. But the point is, imagine owing $1 million, and the extreme is this, okay, guys. The extreme is that this guy has a bunch of money in student loan debt, but he also earns a lot of money. So in the case, he actually picked the right career, right? Because imagine being for example, a healthcare worker and earning $60K and owing $1 million. Impossible, but you know what I mean? That's the extreme here. So I think the overall idea and the overall lesson here is that, before you go ahead and you get a degree, make sure it makes mathematical sense for you. And that's a lot of money. But comment down below, guys, and let me know, what would you do if you owed $1 million that you cannot even go bankrupt and actually avoid? Will you leave the country? Comment down below, let me know. It is a ton of money, but he has to tackle it step by step, and he can get there easily. In 5 to 6 years, he'll probably be there. But that's about it for this video, guys. Comment down below, let me know, was it helpful? Did you learn something? And are you scared? Because I'm scared, okay? But comment down below and let me know. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. As always, like this video if you liked it. Also, if you're new here, subscribe and hit the bell so you're notified when I post a new video. And on top of that, also follow me on Instagram, Bryson. And on top of that, if you want to watch another video, not on something like this, but on extreme cheapskate, people that don't spend any money whatsoever, well, watch this video right here and click my favorite. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. And as always, peace.